Hello and welcome back to Core. We'll be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after Robert had, I guess, he sort of searched his feelings to find out how he felt about the whole Jacob thing. And he's made a comment where, like, even with the headphones, which were a gift from Jacob, and they even had his tone on them, he kind of forgot that they were, from Jacob, because he's sort of been mentally blocking out that whole thing. Like, he's been mentally blocking Jacob out of his mind. And whenever he sort of remembers him, it causes him trauma. But now that he's sort of decided that, enough is enough, I don't want to forget him, but I don't want to just dwell on what's happened. And the fact that he survived, because I guess he has survivor's guilt. He wants to, I guess, appreciate the memories that he had and not forget them. So yeah. And also he wants to make sure that his friend Gus, who's basically gotten the short end of the stick from even before, that he knows that he is part of this group, that, the little thing that happened at the Wonder or Mystery Cave isn't an indication that, the rest of the trip is ruined. Also, yeah, the trip has been shortened from 15 days to 10 days, probably because it's gonna... Oh no, because the creator said that some of the stuff that he wanted to put out for basically the 2 weeks has already sort of shown up, so he didn't want to just elongate the story for the sake of elongating the story, So it's been shortened from 15 days to 10 days, which it's fine by me, because that means that there's only, I guess, 3 more updates left. Also, at the end of this, towards the end of this video, you'll find out who, will be spending the rest of the vacation with, whether it'll be Gus or whether it'll be Mike. Because one of the cool things about this story is that it doesn't lock you into any one person until a very specific point way later in the story. So it's not like on day 2 or even day 1 or day 3 that you're like already like, oh yeah, I'm gonna spend my vacation with this one person because I like them over everyone else. No, it's you're allowed to experience all of these characters separately and to enjoy them without, being like, oh, but I want to spend my rest of the time with them, or oh no, if I do this, then I'm not gonna be able to, eventually end up with, X character. But yeah, and so that's the cool thing about Core, that it doesn't follow the horrible dating simulator rules of you have to pick someone immediately when the story starts and that's it. And it allows you to experience everyone before you make a choice, I guess you could say. And even then, it's not like you're making a choice to spend your time with them. It's you are making a choice, I guess, but you're not locking yourself with someone just because you think they're hot. It's you get to spend time with everyone, and then eventually you naturally gravitate to the character that you spent the most time with, or that you naturally found just more enjoyable. But yeah. Anywho, so without further ado, let's begin. A few hours later. Here I am, standing in front of Gus's store. I'm the first one here, but that was the plan. After all, I have the easier task of entertaining Gus so that he doesn't message anyone until we're all ready. The sun is starting to set. Man, time sure flies sometimes. I really hope Gus doesn't have to leave in a hurry like he did a couple of days ago. That's funny to think about. It feels like it's been so much longer, but at the same time it feels so short. Anyway, Robert, you're getting tangled in your own thoughts. Stop wasting time and go inside. I don't see the otter once I'm inside. That's strange. The door is open. Never mind. He comes out of the back room once he hears the door, but stares at me in disbelief when he sees me standing there with a smile. Hey there. Rob, what are you doing here? Well, Ed said that he'd be busy here today, so I figured I could pay a visit to you at some point. Oh. So now it's at some point. I hope you're not really busy right now, though. I can leave and come back later. I actually can't, but it's a formality. I know he won't tell me to go away. I hope. No, not at all. Feel free to keep me company. Today's been kinda boring anyways. With that invitation, I walk closer to the counter with Gus, who's leaning on it with a genuine smile. You know, usual clients in the morning, few randos here and there, but in general, the store's been pretty chill. It must be tough to be in charge of a place like this, especially if there's not a lot of people usually. I mean, it's what to be expected from a chocolate store. It's not a necessity for most people. That's your opinion. I said most people, you goof. You don't count as most people. I'll decide to take that as a compliment. We both giggle, and I'm happy to hear Gus's inner tone is honest. It sounds correct, just as it should sound. However, that changes a bit after he sighs. Still with that smile on his face, the tone slows down. So, how's everyone else doing? Ed told me things are okay, but, want to hear it from someone else. We're all good, I believe. We all kind of decided to do our own thing today, though. For example, I know Mike went to the open market to check for some stuff on his own, which makes me worried that he'll buy something unnecessary. Well, you all have your own money, right? Then that's his problem. Let him be the adult or the child that he wants to be. Tell that to Faust. So, what did you do all day yourself, aside from coming here and paying me a visit? Thank you, by the way. I don't know if I should tell him about what I've been thinking about. No, you know what? I'm going to tell him. Gus is part of my life now, and I want to make sure that I don't leave him behind in anything again. I've, been thinking about a lot of things. About the past, about Jacob. Things I needed to think about. Right. No more apologizing. I decided that I'm going to look at the present and the future. I still have a lot of work to do. I'm not healed yet. But, hey, we all start somewhere, right? You really are as strong as I thought you'd be, Rob. What do you mean? Guess I had a mental image of how you and Ed be if I ever saw you again. For some reason, I always knew you'd know exactly what you want in life. I wish that were true. I thought I knew what I wanted, but that's not possible anymore. The negative thoughts are coming back, but I'm so tired of them. This is not why I wanted to talk about what I thought about with Gus. Fuck you, brain. You're not pulling me down again right now. At least the way I thought it'd be. But I'm still here, so I'm making something happen. I don't know what yet exactly, but it'll happen. Something in the way I speak makes Gus smile the brightest smile I've ever seen on him yet, and I can tell that he's not faking it. His inner tone is so calm right now. That's exactly what I was talking about. Even when you're not sure of what you want, you don't want to give up. There's always something fighting inside of you that wants to be the best. I think that's so impressive. I'm a little envious, to be honest. Right, I guess Gus has been stuck here because of us leaving. Well, things are different now. Why be envious when you can do the same? Come on, you know me, I'm too chill to look ahead. Precisely because I know you. I know you could do anything you want with ease. I just have the feeling that you're convinced yourself that you can't do it. And I don't mean that as an insult. Don't get me wrong. I completely understand why you'd feel that way. But, one of the reasons why I wouldn't change anything that happened to me in the past is that I'm here now. Gus's face looks up at me, surprised, almost scared to hear me say that. I'm fully aware of what I said, and I don't like it. I don't like that all of this had to happen in order for me to come back and see my friend again. But I'm here now, and I can do something about it now. I look at him with determination in my eyes and my words. I want him to get this for good. I don't know what you have to do to feel better with yourself, but I can promise that I'm going to be here for as long as you need. For good or for worse, all I have to offer is the present, and I know that I want you in it, so I'm going to fight for it. I hope you fight for that too, though, because I can't do both on my own. Man, Rob. I hear him sniffling and rub his eyes before giving me a cute smile. Jerk, you're making me cry when I'm working. What if a customer comes in now? They'll see me with right eyes. Sorry, I should choose the moments when I get intense better. You really should, but I appreciate it a lot, Rob. I will too. I don't know how, but I guess you don't know either, huh? I have no idea. Perfect. We have a deal. Gus stretches his arms over the counter, and I do the same so that I can shake his hand. We have a deal indeed. So, out of curiosity, you said you imagined in a specific way. How do you think Ed would be in your head? Oh, he looks way more gay than I imagined. Also, I thought he'd be, bigger. He points at his own belly, and I can't help but to laugh at that mental image. I actually have a surprisingly easy time imagining Ed like that. Either that or he'd be completely different, like he gave up on comics and is now a businessman with a suit and everything. I'm surprised again to see a very clear image of Ed like that, maybe in an alternate universe though. It is then that I feel my phone vibrate in my pocket. Is it time already? It should be. I set my phone so that it would only vibrate if one of my friends sends me a message. I trust that I'm not imagining the sensation of my phone vibrating before stretching and yawning. Gus looks visibly confused. Alright, I think I'm gonna head back to the house. I might take the chance now that the house is empty to take a nap. Oh, okay. A bit of a short visit then. I instantly feel so bad about doing this, but he smiles, and for once his tone doesn't feel like he's hiding anything. But I'm glad you showed up at least for a bit. Sorry, I promise we'll see each other again very soon. You better. The otter decides to step away from the counter and walks to the other side, squeezing me in a hug I didn't ask for. But I'm not complaining. Well, a little. He's stronger than I thought. He does let me go shortly after, and I give a wave, stepping outside of the store. I look around expecting to see everyone, but there's no one here. Did I make a mistake? I pull my phone outside of my pocket and I see that I have one message from Ed. We're in the alleyway right next to the store, he says. Okay, I guess it's so Gus doesn't see us all outside of the store. But was it necessary to hide? I walk over and soon enough I see a certain lion's tail poking out of it. I smile, leaning against the wall, looking at the gang together. Just so you all know, Gus is working, so he wasn't going to come out of the store and see you. But what if he did? It's better to be safe. That surprise has to hit him hard. Are we going to rob him now, Mike? That's what you're making it sound like. We shouldn't say those things out loud. Come on. We're hiding in an alleyway. People are actually going to call the police on us. Anyway, we have the goods. What about you? Of course I do. You saw me putting it in my pocket before. Make sure just in case. I groan, reluctantly pulling out the necklace from my pocket so that my best friends can see it, just in case I lost it in the past hour. Good job, Rob. You didn't lose it. Are you done with the sass? I left Gus all alone in the store and I actually feel bad that I had to leave like that. We shouldn't keep him waiting for too long then. Mike, make sure no one else has entered the store. We should do this when he's not busy with anyone. Why do I have to be the one on the lookout? You're hiding closer to the corner. Come on, go check. Now Mike's the one groaning, walking away from us in the direction of the store. I decide to lean over so that I can see what he does, just in case. He gets close to the door, but doesn't enter. Instead, he takes a look through the small window on the door, and then comes back, waving at us to follow him. He comes out of the alleyway and the others follow me, soon standing in front of the door, Ed and I first. We look at each other's eyes for a second before nodding with a smile, entering the store together. Gus is not there, or at least I think so before I see him standing up from behind the counter, probably organizing something. Welcome, what can... It's then that he notices that we're all standing right there, smiling at him, and I can tell that he doesn't understand what's happening. Wait, what? Surprise! Gus's face is priceless. I feel a bit bad because I can see genuine confusion in it. But if we're right here now, it's so that he doesn't have to make the face again when he sees us. Sorry I had to keep this a secret from you, but hey, I promised you we'd see each other soon, so we're back! I mean, I'm glad, but what's happening? Well, we know yesterday wasn't exactly what you expected, and we wanted to make sure that you knew that we'd still be around. Something like this is not going to break us up. Gus's mouth opens as if he's going to say something, but instead keeps quiet, turning to look at me. It almost feels like I'm the one who has to confirm this. So I smile and nod, and for some reason that causes him to burst out laughing. You guys are something else. We told you already, we're a curious bunch. And you haven't even seen what we've done for you yet. Done for me? As he asks, Faust walks over to him, showing him a small box he was hiding behind his back, giving it to him. I'm not 100% sure how they'll taste, but we worked together with the little time we had. Curious, Gus opens a box like a child opening his present, and sees that inside there's a bunch of cookies. He looks puzzled at first until he realizes that they're shaped like our faces, decorated with glazed sugar. Some of them are better than others. I mean, Faust's barely looks like him, and Mike's hair looks like someone just smashed the cookie against the wall. But he seems to understand what the intention is, picking a cookie and comparing it with me. This is so cute. Did y'all do this together? Well, Mike and I made the cookies, and Hector and Edward focused on the designs. It was challenging. None of us have really done this before, so it's slightly experimental. I'm still proud of how mine looks. I'm sorry about the butchering that yours ended up being, Mike. I'm not. Maybe it's a hint for you to cut your hair, you know. Coming from you, one more year and your hair is going to reach your ass. I'm gonna feel bad about eating them. I almost feel like I should keep them behind a glass so that I can look at them from time to time. You can just say that they don't look edible. Hey! That'd be the case if you'd help. Oh, you didn't do any of these, Rob? They legit wouldn't let me, although to be fair, I also didn't fight back. I wanted to make sure that the cookies came out as best as possible. Except for Mike's. Rest in peace. Hey! However, I do have something for you too. Oh? I carefully reach inside my pocket, showing him a silver necklace with 2 musical notes linked together, and his face practically shines when he sees it. Dang, that's so pretty! Did you buy it? Well, technically Mike bought it, since he was at the open market before. Since it's related to music, I thought it'd be perfect for him, but we decided that we should give it to you instead. Do you like it? Of course I do. Let me try it. Gus reaches for it and steps back, carefully putting on the necklace. After a small click sound, he lets it go, looking down at it. How's it look? It has my approval. It looks cool in my opinion. I think Mike found something good for once in his life. We really can have wholesome moments with you around. I really wish I could have found that myself, but Mike chose the perfect thing, so that's what matters. That's your opinion. Well, don't get too cocky, because the last idea was purely mine. He doesn't say anything in response, but with curiosity in his eyes, as if he doesn't want to interrupt what's coming. Now Ed's reaching into his shirt pocket, pulling out an envelope with our signs, and a big "For Gus" written on the front. Gus takes it with care, almost afraid to break whatever's inside. But once he notices how light it is, he looks around at us, confused. This is not money, right? No. I mean, it would be nice, but no. Come on, open it. Gus snickers at my reaction before carefully opening the envelope with one of his claws, looking inside and taking some kind of small paper. It takes him a few seconds to realize those are the train tickets to Core, along with a small note that says, "So you'll never forget we were here. I wanted to give you something to remind you that we were here, and that even after we leave, we'll be back. Rob, everyone." Gus doesn't really have time to say anything else before Ed reaches from behind, hugging him, and we do the same immediately after, even Hector. We start giggling and laughing once he sees Gus's arms being the only thing poking out from being crushed in hugs. In a way, we're paying him back for almost throwing us into the lake yesterday with that hug. I'm drowning in men. Gus, come on. I don't think he's complaining. I think we should hug him harder then. Hee. Make sure he knows we love him. Help! Carefully, we step back, still laughing, and Gus just drops and sits down on the floor. We can all tell that he's blushing, but it might be because we've actually overdone it. Whoops. I thought I was gonna die, but thank y'all so much, for real. It's a little bit overwhelming though. With that being said, everyone stay right there. Not only does he stop us from replying, but he also storms off behind the counter. It takes him long enough for Faust to lean over the counter and see if he needs help. However, he stands up as he does with a big smile on his face and 6 chocolates in his hands. Of course, Ed and I realize what kind of chocolate it is. We've seen that chocolate before, right? Isn't that the sea salt chocolate that you guys shared before? Gus. Yeah, they're very special for us. We used to eat them together at the beach when we were kids. Kinda made them a symbol for us staying together forever. And I've been thinking about it. Do know how the other two feel about that, but I think it's about time you'll have one. Continue tradition and stuff. Cause, like, y'all keep considering me your friend even after everything, and I'm just... He stops and sniffles, probably feeling a bit overwhelmed. But that smile on his face is the most sincere and thankful I have ever seen on him ever. Thank you, everyone. I'm so happy to call y'all my friends. I'm gonna remember today forever. Still with a few tears in his face, he gets closer to us, giving a chocolate to each person. When he gives it to me, I hug him and keep him there. He returns it, but then steps back, giggling. You're not trapping me in another hug like that one that just happened. I had to try, but I'm really happy to see you like this. You deserve it, Gus. We should have done this a long time ago. Honestly, you rock, man. I'm really happy we got to know you here. It's been such a blast. And I'm sure we'll get to know you even better after we're back. Yes, also you have to add me to your friends on Cross Farm, remember? And, just in case, you made us stick around. It wasn't Ed or I, okay? I mean, we hoped you guys would be friends, of course, but we weren't going to force it. I really appreciate all this. You're definitely cheered up my day. If anything, I'm a bit surprised no one came in and ruined the moment. And I, changed the sign from open to close for now, sorry. Ah, Ed, that's a crime. What? Well, not really, but I'll get complaints if I close the store before the official closing time. Ah, I'm so sorry. It's alright, I'll say it was worth it. That being said, if y'all want to talk some more, mind waiting for a bit longer till my shift's over? Of course, we'll wait outside for you. Thank you very much. Should be around half an hour, so it won't take too long. Take your time, man. We'll be here. And with that, I open the door and lead the others outside so Gus can continue working as intended. I'm actually glad that he didn't get mad at us for doing that. We knew that could be a problem, but, well, we didn't want to risk it. So, of course, we wait there, most chatting about trivial stuff, and everything else feels really good. It's a sensation that I've been feeling throughout this vacation, but it was kind of muffled before, probably because I was still hurting deep down. And again, I think I still am, but it's different now. I feel so genuinely happy. My smile is real, my friends are here, and I'm living. The door from the store finally opens after a while, and the otter comes out, closing it behind him with a key before turning around to look at us. Done for today. Thank you all so much for waiting for me. Ah, just in time. I was about to eat this chocolate right now. You wouldn't dare. I'd kill you on the spot. Whoa, it sounds scary when you say it. Good. So, since the main idea is to spend more time together, we were thinking about treating you to dinner tonight. Mike and I made too much when you three were at your place, so we were thinking of eating what's left. They made some roasted meat with potatoes. It was really good. I just hope it hasn't gone bad yet. We were planning to have that for dinner yesterday, but, you know. I feel like Mike's worried about bringing that up, but I understand. But it's really nice to see that no one's brought down by it anymore. It's in the past, and we're here now. It feels good. I appreciate it, but you sure you don't mind? We can totally chill tomorrow after all. Oh, and we will. We're planning for that too, but we still want you around for a while. Ah, so now I'm the one who has to wait to know what the plan is, huh? Fuck you. This is what you get. Bitch, I'm okay with that. So, what do you say? Will you join us tonight? Gus doesn't respond immediately, looking like he's really thinking about it, which is admittedly a bit disappointing. But he grins shortly after. He's just fucking around. Sorry, I was fucking around. I'd love to join y'all for a while. Yes! Party tonight! But not too hard, since we're partying tomorrow too. Don't ruin the surprise! Hmm? We'll tell you more once we're there, don't worry. Have you made sure the store is closed? Always. Wouldn't be good at my job if I didn't. I stand up at that moment, walking closer to Gus and holding his arm, leading the group. Then let's go. This is a very nice feeling, like everything is right. I've always been able to tell what people feel with my power, or at least when they stop feeling normal. It's always different, but it's also always the same. Like a string that's off rhythm, or that song you know so well sounding slower, or not at all. However, right now, we're all in sync. I can tell that we're all happy to be here, genuinely. If there's something on our minds right now, it's not important enough. This is the real reason we made this trip, and I'm so happy that I feel like this again. I miss you, but I know you'll be smiling with us right now. I'm sure you're happy to see the Robert you loved back. The evening is uneventful, and honestly, after yesterday and all that we've been through, I'd say that's perfect. We're just having fun, eating and chatting together about nothing. Things about us, about our families. Speaking of, I made sure to send a message to my mom to let her know that I'm doing fine and that I love her. I haven't checked in on them in a couple of days. At some point during the dinner, Gus pats his belly full from the food that was promised to him, and before getting our attention. Food was really good. Thanks for inviting me tonight. I'm glad to hear that, even if it could have been better. It would have been better if it was more fresh, but you know. It was good anyways. Don't beat yourselves too hard about it. Yes, honestly, I can't complain about it either. Not all meals can be 150% good, and that's fine. I still want every meal to be 150% good. Your voice volume is 150% too loud. Tell me about it. So, what did y'all have planned for tomorrow? You mentioned there was going to be a party or something? Gus remembers what interests him. Well, we've been checking the weather lately, and tomorrow's going to be really hot, so... We were thinking of hitting the beach once and for all. Ah, that'd be amazing. I was checking on that too, so I can confirm that it should be good for swimming around tomorrow. I'm not a huge sea person, but I admit that I'm looking forward to some time in the water too. I'm not going to stop anyone, and of course, I also want to, but would you guys mind if I keep my shirt on? Really? I mean, I have no problem with that, but I didn't think you'd be that shy. It's not that, just, it's embarrassing to explain. I'll tell you guys tomorrow. Take your time, Hector. No one is going to force you into anything you don't want to do. I'll raise a brow if I see you getting into the sea with your shirt on. But I'll get over it, don't worry. I'll keep that in mind, and I'll try not to disappoint. Aside from that, we were thinking of making a special lunch here tomorrow for everyone. And then we thought of trying to do a small volleyball tournament. Mike got a net and everything that we can use. You're really thinking about everything, I see. That sounds really fun. And then in the evening, we're thinking of hitting the After Sun. After Sun? It's a bar Gus showed us a few days ago. Apparently, it only opens at night. They serve some alcohol, and apparently we can even rent a table for us, so I made sure to call before and we have a spot. They also serve other drinks that aren't alcoholic, so you're not forced to drink if you don't want to. Ah, good. I don't think I'll drink anything, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. Just so you know, in case you decide to give it a shot, you're not supposed to drink the entire thing in one go. I've seen how you drink soda. We would also make sure you're safe. but we also said before, don't force yourself too much. I know, I appreciate that. We'll see. So a full day, huh? Seems intense. Count me in. That's what I wanted to hear. We accept requests or recommendations if you have any other ideas. Honestly, sounds like a lot already, so we'll see tomorrow. My only request is that we have fun, because I think we'll all need it. Absolutely. I'm definitely bringing that spaceship floater I bought. Right. It's been covered in dust ever since you bought it. Because we couldn't go to the beach. I would have used it on my own anyway. We'll need turns to use it. I definitely want to give that a shot. Me too. We should try to ride it together, Gus. What about me? I'm the one who bought it. You could ride with Hector. I'm not riding anything in the water. Now, in the bed is another story. Hector. I'm just stating that it's easier to ride things when you're not in the water. Stop! He's not wrong. I'm canceling tomorrow. Okay, I'll shut it. Guess it's also around time I should leave then. Are you sure? You could stay if you want. I know we offered the first night, but we mean it, right? I'm not against it. But the only problem is space. Yeah, I agree. I'd love to, but I still want to rest in my bed if y'all don't mind. Besides, I have my swim trunks back at home, and I'd have to go back there anyways if I stay the night here. I guess that's true. Maybe we can figure something out for one of these days. If Mike found a spaceship floater, maybe we can get an inflatable bed? That sounds super fun, but we'd have to move a few things in the living room if we want to set it next to the couch. Think of Gus too. We don't know if he could stay, or if he thinks it's worth it. Guess if you guys find a way to make it possible, I wouldn't mind spending one night. But I still have to work the rest of the time, and my house is closer to the store, so... We'll still figure something out then. I'm sure you will, but for now, I gotta go, or it'll be too dark to see. Gus stands up from the table, but instead of moving, he stays there, looking at everyone with his usual smile. His tone sounds just as friendly as always, so I don't worry too much. I said it before, but let me say it again. Thank y'all for letting me be a part of this group. It's been incredible. I have to be clear in one aspect. I've always been kind of lonely in Core. People are nice, polite, but they're not as interesting as any of you. So, this is really a refreshing experience. I feel like I'm having genuine fun with all of you. No exceptions, so... Yeah, that. Thanks. I'm so very happy to be here right now. We don't really say anything, almost as if we're waiting for more. However, it never comes. He looks around awkwardly, scratching the back of his neck. Did I break y'all or something? Not really, just I think we're happy to hear that. Absolutely. It's not only us anymore, it's the 6 of us from now on. Of course! I hope you know that you can count on us if you ever need anything. And we expect to see you in Moreland too at some point. This is not a one-time thing. Yeah, if you need any help, we'll move mountains for you. Hypothetically, I mean. We're not that strong. Gus grins before putting one of his hands in the middle of the table, and we all understand what he wants us to do. We lean closer so that we can put our hands over his. Together from now on, right? Together forever. Then we all raise our hands, as if this promise, this group, is now eternal with it. I'm really happy to see that Mike, Faust, and Hector like Gus this much too, and I'm happy to see that both Ed and I are slowly fixing the bridge we broke when we left. I just wish you were here to experience it, so I'll make sure that you experience it through me. Alright, for real, I gotta go or I won't make it home. It's hard to say goodbye to Gus for now, but we know we'll have more moments with him. We just promised that will be the case after all. After that, we talk about what we want to do to sleep. I quickly inform everyone that I still want to sleep alone tonight, and they all understand. After all, I was already sleeping on my own until now. I just think everyone's worried that I haven't switched places with anyone yet. To be fair, I was actually looking forward to Gus joining me today, but, well, I guess it's something worth talking about with him tomorrow. I still have quite some time to figure out, and I still believe I should do it on my own. I just know now that doing it on my own doesn't mean doing it alone. Once I'm alone in the living room, I turn off the lights and move to the couch. Honestly, I'm not going to need the blanket tonight. I lay down thinking of the things I want to be, the people I want in my life, the life I still have ahead of me. I've never seriously thought about it ever since the accident. I've been so focused on what happened that I never thought again, what do I want now? I still want to be happy. I know Jacob would want that for me. I want to continue studying psychology. I want to finish this course, even if I have to work at a crappy job again to be sure I can afford it without help from my parents. Ideally, I hope I don't get a crappy job while I get my degree. I mean, I can't be a beggar right now, but come on. And I want to understand my feelings because right now, they're in complete chaos. Should I grieve? Should I move on? Is it possible to do both? Is it really okay to feel something for someone else when you're still in my memory so close? I know you would tell me yes, but I want to figure this one out by myself. I'm definitely comfortable with Mike right now, and it's pretty clear that we like each other, I think. Either that or he's just messing with me, but that chat at the beach where he kept teasing me, I think he knew exactly what he was doing. I know how teasing Mike gets when he's playing around, and now that I'm more calm, I can tell it felt different. It definitely felt like he knew what he was doing to push just the right buttons. I still wonder who he had a threesome with. He never answered that fucker. In a way, I'm glad he worried about me back on the bus. It felt like I was his priority, and something about that thought feels really good. Plus, I'm pretty sure he confessed to me, even if he says he didn't. We were both pretty happy about that, I know for sure. The goof let me stare at it, and everything. I feel like something happening between us is kind of a matter of time. Either I end up doing something or he does, but I'm sure something will happen. Anyway, it's pretty late by now. I've definitely been thinking a lot right now. It's time to leave that for tomorrow. Tomorrow can't come up soon enough. It's going to be so fun. I just hope. I hope you will smile when you see me. To be continued. Okay, so that was nice. For once there wasn't any drama. But yeah, it's kind of nice that you can see that even though there's like silliness and like little friends being, you know, being just friends with each other and doing stuff like that, that they do have time to explore certain things, like, the loss of a loved one and how you move on from that. And it's and the process isn't ever like just, oh, you lost that person, so only you are grieving, because other people do grieve, and it's something that sometimes people don't that they don't see until maybe like the last minute, or they don't ever see it because it very often feels like you're just the one that lost that person, that nobody else could possibly know what you're feeling. But oftentimes other people do know because, either, if you lost a husband or a wife, then, somebody lost their child, their son or daughter, or somebody lost their mother or their father, or stuff like that. Somebody lost their friend, their confidant, and that doesn't reduce the loss that you feel. It just means that there's other people that can relate to how you feel. But yeah, anyways, so I think it's pretty clear at the end right there that I am on track to have a Mike-centric rest of the story. And I initially thought that was going to be Gus, because he says like, oh, I wish that Gus would have stayed, or he would have been able to stay. But it seems that I have indeed locked in a Mike route, which, is fine, because I like both Gus and Mike. Out of the whole cast, I like them both. And it's not just because Mike is a lion, because he's goofy and I like that personality, and I like Gus because that is a very relatable personality too, if you haven't noticed by now. But yeah, it's also good, or yeah, it's good that the whole tone coming through the headphones thing was I guess kind of explained, and I wonder if powers linger after the person whom they belong to or who used them passes away. So I wonder if it's possible that the reason why the headphones continue to, you know, do the little tone is because it's like a permanent thing. Like, let's say Jacob were to put a tone on a car, or no, like a set of keys or a stuffed animal, if it would continue to do that long after the person had died, or if it would continue to do that, but it would, you know, eventually fade away. Like that would be a very cute thing to do. Like let's say you had a kid and you're gonna give them a stuffed animal, so you put a tone on it, you know, to remind them like, oh yeah, my parents gave it to me, or just, you know, whenever they're holding it, it reminds them of their parents. And even after they die, it still does the tone, but it just gradually like gets weaker and weaker and weaker, kind of like a memory, you know. But anyways, yeah. I wonder, did they ever explain what oh no, Ed's powers that he can't get wet, or like that he can repel water. Mike's is that he can make you feel good in a proximity, but if he uses it too much, then it kind of feels like probably like you're getting high. I forget what. Oh no, Faust's power is that he can change color, sort of like camouflage, but it doesn't really work that way. But Hector's, I forget what Hector's power is. Huh. If you remember, write it down in the comments, but I don't remember what it is. But it would be interesting to see if they would expand on the whole powers thing, at least in the future, or maybe if there's a follow-up to Core, where it's Morlin. But yeah. Anywho, so write down in the comments if you are playing Core, or if you will play Core, if you would try to go for someone else other than Mike or Gus, or if you're going to go for Mike, or if you're going to go for Gus. Because honestly, I would have been happy if it went with Gus, or if it went with Mike, either one. Because again, those two are my favorites. But yeah, so anywho, thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play Core, you can find a direct link to it from the creator's Twitter page, I believe. I know, from the Core visual novel Twitter page, yeah, because they do have a specific one for them. And God, it's been so long, I don't know if they have a Patreon or something. Yeah, they do have a Patreon. So if you would like to support the project and get earlier access to, you know, builds of Core, you can support them through Patreon. And in doing so, well, you get early access, I think. I'm pretty sure you do. Well, at least you will know what's going on with the story way before I do. Even though I do have contact with the creator, I don't use it to, you know, try to get early builds or whatever. No. If I want early builds, then I subscribe to their Patreons or their coffees or whatever. Oh, and yeah, I guess that's it. So I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.